बोल रहे हैं कि इनको हॉस्पिटल लेकर जाओ भाई, क्या हो गया? मतलब कृष्णा या इनको बोले तुरंत हॉस्पिटल लेकर जाओ, कोई काम वाम मत करवाओ। नहीं, उस टाइम बट उसके बाद अमित भाई की वजह से जबरदस्ती बस के लिए आपने हाँ बहुत पैसे बस दो भाई मेरे जो मालिक कहाँ तुम लोग गए सच में आप क्यों जा रहे हो ओ अच्छा फिर यहाँ पे क्यों बता रहे हो
अभिषेक बोल रहा था कि 6 पाउंड का बस लो उसके लिए 1.5 पाउंड का एक्स्ट्रा बस मत लो
क्या हम लोग अकाउंट नहीं बनाओगे तो पैसे ज्यादा ही जाएगा
यार के लिए अगर किसी कंपनी में पॉजिटिव लिख रहे हैं तो उसका पेड भी है
इम्पैक्ट नहीं है ऑलरेडी हम अपने टिकट और हम सब साथ से देंगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बिजनेस ही हाँ ना
मैं कंपल आज
हम लोग
कंपल लेकर नीचे सोऊंगा सिर्फ आपसे कंपल लेने के लिए नीचे सोऊंगा
वो तो मैं आ जाता हूँ हाँ आ जाता हूँ मैं अगर आके टाटा हो
बाहर निकलना है बहुत प्रॉब्लम अरे लास्ट वाला सीट
मैंने कभी लास्ट वाला नहीं लगा
मैंने बोला है कोना वाला सीट एक ही है ना
कोना मिलेगा भी नहीं
बाहर निकलना होता है
ये लेकिन दूसरा खबर दी है
दूसरी बात लगातार दूसरे दौरे
चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में भी पर्ची लगा हुआ है चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी सबसे साइड था अपने नाम पे पर्ची लगा नहीं मिल जाएगी आपने इसी जनवरी में कुछ
लॉक बता के जा फुल लॉक हो जाएगा तो जब लग जाए फुल लॉगिन है अरे रुक जाओ यार 7 longer for about 19. So Peter somebody got his
One thing I don't understand about you is why you have these colours for so long.
I've never hidden them.
Well, you have.
What we do in sport, and in journalism, in sport, it's based on precedent, based on somebody breaks a record, you have to sort of explain where that record comes from, when it was, and sometimes if you remember when it was, you remember what the race was going on at the same time. So, I remember, yeah, exactly.
He jumped a barrier.
Yes. He jumped a barrier because he was being chased and he didn't know why he was being chased. He was in trouble. I remember being out the back of the Lunar Watch meeting, a cup of coffee or something, and hearing all these blaring down the lane, seeing these blue lights thinking, fuck me, not again. And thinking, no, it can't be. They would be stupid enough to do another one of their fortnight days. Do you remember there were a couple of would-be bombers who got. Remember one of them escaped. They think you got away from Heathrow wearing a full-length burqa to cover up the fact he was a boss.
20 years.
Yeah, exactly. So,
What seat were you in at Lord? What seat number were you in the press box?
I think the seat numbers might have changed since then, but I can tell you, I was sitting in the back row, the next row, next to the aisle on the, sort of, as soon as you come into the press box, there's 2 aisles, and I'm sort of next to the aisle that way, so it's about seat 52 or something.
Very good, very impressive.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
You're good to go. No, you're good to go. If you could come
Siraj, yes. It was behind it. It's got to be Siraj or
Who, so you didn't like it? Oh, I was going to give you a text for that.
I'm going to show these gentlemen something very, very interesting.
Not sure about that.
The last century here by an Indian batsman. There you go.
His first
What year was it? What year was it?
We haven't played much of Test cricket here.
What
Maybe
was your
Mr.
first
Watson.
year here?
Hello, 2014
My
last.
first
2014.
My first test year was 89, the Ashes test match.
We're in the club.
Well done, very good. Australia won the Ashes here.
Were you at Headingley for the first
Yes,
test?
it was. Was that your very first test? My first test match. I've done a day of test matches.
Vice wala. They did not play.
It was Headingley with 89.
Yeah, well, that's before my
Yes.
Why are you stopping?
88, I did one day in 88.
You don't do anything. Contextual का मतलब यही है कि हम
And he got scolded by a bouncer from Hadley, I think, on the sort of basis because he had to retire her.
Great impression
Don't
on
speak
the
to anyone.
days, by the way.
And he,
Don't speak to anyone. Just tell.
although French started keeping wicket for England when New Zealand batted, he obviously felt a bit groggy, a bit woozy. So England sent Griswold to the bottom. He was then Cornhill 10. And he had glasses of champagne. And he panted in gloves on because Bob Taylor came charging out.
Why did they just swap? Because he was injured.
Well, they're allowed to do an emergency strike.
But don't stop
Even
doing
at 12 men on the ground. So,
idiots.
and I think
Story.
probably needed New Zealand's permission to do that, but New Zealand said, yeah, it's fair enough. But the clubs is like for like.
Nice people.
And we were getting beat anyway. Like, Kiwis are much nicer than Aussies, aren't they? As you well know.
Sure, they are.
So, I refer you to my previous comment. I think this is it, imminent, by the way.
Yeah.
You think it's imminent?
I can.
Well, if it is,
What's still there?
Right, ready, everyone? Here they come. How's, have you got a 27-year-old or something? Exactly. We'll give you some big examples, huh?
Yeah, she is 26. She'll be the same age as your daughter. Because she was the same age as your daughter 15 years ago, but somehow my daughter is now 2 or 3 years older.
Can I refer you to Julie?
To what?
What's she doing? She wants to know.
She's got some PR, big
Public
PR.
relations.
Indeed. She's got a long time there for the videos. 9 years ago. Flat. West Ham fan, which is Cockney Barrow Boy Munchers. He's alright. He's a nice fella.
But apart from the West Ham, so
Apart from the West Ham.
has he ever been to a Watford game?
I couldn't tell you exactly what they do, but I know it's
Okay.
South London. It must be hard. Yes, he was.
You on your own?
Yes, we will start with James Carl probably on the other side and I'll come to Jen from BBC here. But if you're able to help, that'd be great.
बैठने दे वो तो बैठ जाओ सही कर दे आजा आजा वो मामा साथ चला गया
Yeah, do you want one on each side?
स्टेट पार्क में आता है ऑफिस हरियाणा से निकलता है दिल्ली होके
सस्ता महंगा नहीं ना इंडिया टुडे सुना आइए मैं इसको उसका वेट कर रहे हैं
Sorry, mate.
आपको बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है।
You were just coming in the door, weren't you? I think, huh?
कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हो गया अब इसका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो मेरे मुंह से मेरे कैमरा से कर रहा है यही लग रहा था यार साथ में
Will be, yeah.
It's not 3 miles away.
Okay, we've got England captain Ben Stokes. Cameras all good at the back, yeah? Happy days. We're going to start with James Cole from Sky Sports News. Go ahead.
Hi Ben, a chance to clinch the series off the back of an epic Lord's win, and at a ground you guys have a very good record at. You must be very confident going into this test.
Yeah, obviously it was a very good win for us last week. Nice break, and yeah, hopefully we can continue the sort of the efforts that we've been putting in. I think the efforts we put in obviously gave us the reward at the end of the game. So yeah, look, we'll be looking to put that same energy and effort into this week, and hopefully we can come out on top.
You've made just the one change, Liam Dawson coming in for Shoaib Bashir. 8 years since Dawson's last test cap. Why do you feel now is the time for him?
Yeah, look, he's been performing really well for Hampshire, you know, for a while now, and yeah, I think he obviously getting recalled into the white ball team as well. He showed that he can just sort of come back in and you know, get to work straight away. I think someone, when you've got as much experience as Liam Dawson has, it makes coming back in a sort of not easier, but does make it easier, if that makes any sense at all. You know, because he's got all that experience to fall back on. But obviously, you know, I'm sure there'll be a bit of nerves for Dawes coming back in and playing his first game in 8 years, as you said. So, but yeah, he's a very good cricketer, and I'm excited for him this week.
You'd have thought his international career was over. He's 35, but is this an opportunity for him to rejuvenate his test career?
Yeah, I think, you know, if you get called back into a squad after a while, regardless of how old you are, you obviously, you know, you want to showcase your skills that you've got, regardless of how old you are. You know, it could be Dawes coming back in, could be you know, I don't know, people might look to that who are sort of aging a bit, maybe, knowing that it's not the end of the road. And you know, I don't think Dawes is the type of person or character to maybe ever think that in the back of his mind. But yeah, it just shows if you keep working hard and keep putting in good performances consistently, then you know you're always going to be spoken about and be there or thereabouts.
The door would be open for the Ashes potentially if he can prove himself.
Let's stick with this one for now.
Okay, and in terms of Chris Woakes playing his 4th test of the series and choosing him ahead of Gus Atkinson, what was the thinking there in terms of the attack?
Yeah, I think obviously we had a real big break after the Lord's game, so good opportunity for everyone to just get the feet up and freshen up. Look, Wokesy's got a very good record here, and yeah, look, it's one of those where, you know, we've managed to win 2 of the first 3 games, pretty much with you know, a very similar bowling attack. Obviously we had Joff come in last week, which was a big bonus, but look, I think outside of the rewards that Wokesy hasn't got with the ball, he's a very important player for us. You know, he adds that control with the ball. It's very handy having him down the order, and yeah, we won last week, so we didn't see there was a necessary change to make for this week.
And we saw the return of some sledging and confrontational cricket at Lords. Is that something you could employ both here and also going forward to get the best out of your players?
I don't think it's one of those things where we're going to necessarily just go out and start at it. I don't think either teams, you know, really look to do that. I think there's just always going to be a moment in a test series where something does heat up. You know, it's a massive series. There's a lot of pressure on both teams to go out and perform. So, look, the environment when you're out there, obviously there's going to be some moments and some heat showing, and yeah, obviously that night when Zach and Ben had to go out, just sort of started it off. And look, we had the advantage of bowling last on in a test match to win. So yeah, we just threw everything that we possibly could at India, not only with our skills but also with their energy in the field as well.
Harry Brooks said, Brendan McCullum said, you guys have been too nice. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think you know, potentially, but I guess it was one of those. It was a real nice moment, I think, as a team, that, you know, when you speak about something like that and then everyone buys into that. As I said, it's not something that we're going to purposely go out and look to start again, because then that will take our focus off what we actually need to do out in the middle. But by no means that, you know, we're not going to take a backward step and let, you know, any opposition try and be confrontational towards us and not try and give a bit back. I think that goes for most teams, to be honest, anyway. So it's not like we're the only team who does that.
Ben, 44 overs, I think, at Lords. How have you been feeling physically in the last week? And if need be, could you do that much bowling again here?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, look, we had really good breaks. So I was true to my word about what I said at the end of the game about being in bed for a couple of days. I did do that. I felt like I was in a long distance relationship with my family because I hardly seen them being at home. So yeah, if the situation requires it again, then yeah, I'll obviously do what I need to do.
20 years ago, this week, Ben, was the start of the 2005 Ashes. I think the series has a lot of things in common with this one in terms of a bit of aggro and some excellent cricket. Do you think this is a similar kind of compelling summer?
Oh, I think so far the series has been great to play in, and I presume it's been pretty good to watch as well. That 2005 Ashes series was great to watch, and I think we've gone all 5 days and all 3 tests so far. So it just proves that the quality of cricket's been outstanding so far. 2 teams going toe to toe, and not very much separating us at the moment. So look, it's been a great series so far. Still got 2 big games to go, and obviously one of those 2 starts tomorrow. So yeah, it's been good to be a part of so far.
It's a traditional Mancunian weather. What are you expecting from the pitch?
Don't really know, to be honest. Have to wait and see. I think, yeah, it's been. I don't know. First 3 wickets sort of haven't necessarily played the way that we thought they were going to, but just wait to see if the Manchester rain manages to hold off. We'll see.
Dave, and then Joe, and then we'll go to Will.
Patrick mentioned obviously you bowled 44 overs last week, including a 9-over spell and then a 10-over spell on the final day. I was just wondering, do you get enjoyment out of those spells when you're doing them, and is it a sign that you have full trust in your body again?
I don't think enjoyment's the right word. It was one of those day 5, got nothing else to do for a while after that, and there was a test match win there for us to try and win, and yeah, I just felt really good, and even though I only got sort of 2 wickets throughout the day, I just felt like I was threatening. My rhythm felt really good. Everything felt just sort of easy. As a bowler, sometimes when you get into those rhythms, you just feel like you're just going through the motions, and you feel like you're sort of just warming up, if that makes sense. But everything's just coming out really well, and yeah, I consistently felt threatening in those spells, hence why I kept on going. And yeah, enjoyment, probably not the right word, but yeah, just wanted to win the game for my team.
Is it a positive sign, though, that you can be able to do these things after so many frustrating injury setbacks? I know you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it is a good sign for me personally. Obviously, I feel like I've been relatively sensible with my loads so far in terms of breaking up, my overs throughout our fielding innings. But as I said, it got to that day 5, and I was going to leave everything out there, and you know, it could have worked out differently. I might have bowled 3 or 4 spells throughout the day, but as I said, those 2 spells when I was bowling, everything felt really good, hence why I kept on going. But yeah, it is obviously a positive thing for me knowing that all the hard work that I did do before the series and getting my body robust and putting myself in a good position physically, being able to bowl those spells and feel really good throughout them was a good positive sign for my body.
Joe, and then we'll go to Will.
Hi, Ben. Joe Root is 120 runs away from becoming the second leading run scorer in Test history. So really just a word on him and the incredible achievement.
Yeah, sometimes like with those less is more, maybe. I don't think I need to say anything else except he's just the absolute GOAT.
Will, and then Stefan.
Ben, sorry, at Lords you got pinged on the over 8 again. I wonder whether you were, how you felt about that. Are you thinking about it as a team needing to speed up, and are you signing the form for the ICC at the moment?
I'm not signing the form, no. Look, I can understand it from an external point of view around the overs. I really do. But it's a very tough thing to do when I feel there's more to it than just getting round, you know, getting told, oh, just quicken up, get through your overs. You know, there's a lot that actually goes out on the field. You know, you got fast bowlers, you know, bending their back consistently. So throughout the course of a game, the time of overs is going to come down because you've just got tired bodies. You know, played 5 days. That was our 15th day of cricket. We obviously had an injury to Bash spinner, so we couldn't turn to our spinner as much as we would have liked to on day 5. So we had to, you know, throw seam at them for pretty much the whole day. So that's obviously going to slow things down. You know, and there is periods in the game where you do try and just slow everything down, just to, yeah, more tactically, if anything like that. So over 8 isn't something that I worry about. But that's not saying that I purposely slow things down. I do understand the frustration around it, but I honestly think there needs to be a real hard look at how it's structured. You know, you can't have the same rules in Asia where spin is bowling 70% of the overs to have the same laws in, you know, New Zealand, Australia, England, where it's going to be 70-80% of seam bowled, because the spinner's over takes less time than the seamer's over. So, you know, common sense would think that you should look at maybe changing how the over 8s are timed in different continents. But yeah, I think as well, like, the over 8s obviously have gone down over the course of quite a few years now. But I wonder if scoring rates have got anything to do with that as well. You know, balls getting hit to the boundary more often, it's obviously going to take a lot longer. So I think there's just so much that influences how your over 8s can be affected, that it can't just be as simple as this is a time, this is what you need to do, because you want to keep the quality of cricket as high as you possibly can. And there is times in games where, you know, there isn't a game on the line where you will just throw the ball to a spinner to get your overs round, but then that's just, you know, you're playing an international game where you're just trying to get your over 8 back. You know, I don't think people want to come and watch that.
Stefan, please, and we'll go Matt.
Hi, Ben. You've had Gilbert and Oka around the squad this summer. Why did you feel you wanted him to bring him in, and what has he brought to the group?
Yeah, obviously all the time off we had between the New Zealand series and Zimbabwe this summer, me and Baz, and you know, we spoke a lot about what we want to do and how we want to take the team forward. And we can say as much as we want, but we don't have the knowledge or the experience in, you know, pushing teams on to the next level, like of where we want to go to. So, you know, if you've got the opportunity to have someone come into your group and help you put into words what you want to try and do and want to try and achieve as a team, that's what we needed to do. And luckily Baz has known Gilbert for a long time. I'm sure you've all looked up Gilbert's CV. Pretty good. So yeah, he's come in. We spent some time around the team. I think he's been able to put into words what we want to do a lot better than what me and Baz would ever be able to do. And yeah, you know, I think every team who ends up being, you know, as good as they possibly can be, do have some external help come in and help put what we want to achieve into words. So yeah, look, we're just giving ourselves, you know, as much chance as we possibly can of kicking on to where we want to be, and we both felt that Gilbert was the right person to do that.
Matt, go ahead, please.
Hi Ben, just on Liam Dawson, could you talk a little bit about some of the specific attributes he has that you like and that won him selection over some of the other candidates for that spot?
Yeah, I think, now having, I think a big bonus is having Baz coaching both teams. We've obviously got Brookie captain of the one-day team and being in this team as well. So I've known Dawes for a long time. I know, you know, the cricketer he is, but I think what does go under the radar is his competitiveness, and obviously he's just a cricketer who gives you so much, you know, with the ball. But you know, having someone like him down the order again, hopefully we're not relying on his runs at number 8 or 9, but yeah, just I think he's earned his call up to the Test team on the back of an unfortunate injury to Bash. So yeah, look, he's earned the call on all this hard work that he's done, you know, back at Hampshire and around the world in different franchise leagues and everything like that. So yeah, quality cricketer and very, very competitive.
We'll go Paul, Nick, and then we'll do one more at the front to finish off, and then we're done. Go ahead, Paul.
Ben, you said hopefully you won't be relying on Liam's runs, but how important is it that to have that tail in depth? You know, you've got a pretty strong lower order now, haven't you? With you know, Biden at 10 and Jofra at 11. How important is that?
No, I wouldn't like to put importance on having Jofra at 11, but it is always nice looking at your team sheet, knowing that you bat all the way down to your tail end. But yeah, just look, you don't want to be putting too much onus, and you don't select your team going, oh, we need to have a stronger number 11. It just worked out that way. But yeah, I think we're blessed at the moment in England with some very good cricketers, and when you put a team together and then you look at the team sheet we've got this week and you realise that we've got some seriously talented cricketers around the country, it does help. So yeah.
Nick, and then one to finish off at the front.
The Gilbert and Oka, is it mainly to do with culture of the team, and sort of what is that culture that you want with your team?
Yeah, like I mean, not just culture. I think, you know, he obviously, when we spoke, Gilbert asked what my vision was and what Baz's vision was of the team about taking it forward many months ago. And as you say, he went away and he's just able to put into words to deliver to a group in a very clear and simple way. You know, like culture around how we operate as a team on the field, off the field, the meaning of why we do everything. You know, me and Baz are very big on the choices and options that you take. Not only should be involved around you, but also around your teammates. So having someone come in and speak from experience around an unbelievable team like he worked with the All Blacks, who almost shares some of those certain values, was nice to hear. I guess that we're sort of very similar in that way of our mindset towards what we want to be doing as a team. But yeah, you know, culture, how we want to do, how our behaviours are, and you know, like training, all that kind of stuff about, you know, being as good as you possibly can be. It's a lot better coming from someone who's done that and been very successful in team sports like Gilbert has.
And last one at the front here, please.
Ben, sorry about another Bumrah question in the press conference, but if you were his captain, how would you manage his workload? Would you play him in all the remaining games?
I'm not his captain.
On that, we're done. Thank you.